All right, guys, usually when I do the boat tour, we're doing it in January. Everything's brand new and looking good. So a little different this year. We're halfway through the season already, but I'm going to give you the tour of my boat, how I have things rigged up, and sort of try and tell you everything you need to know about this Lund 2075 Pro V Bass. So it's my office. I love this thing, and it's a real fishing machine. I got it set up pretty nice, I think. So let's get after it. First thing on the boat cover, pretty slick. Different than what other boats have as far as like how we tighten everything up. This thing travels really good. It's got a little rail system, so a couple snaps on the back, and then I can quickly pull this on and off. But there's no, when I'm traveling, I mean, I can run 80 down the interstate and nothing's gonna come loose. So that's a slick design. When I want to fill up, I've got access to the gas right here. And if you were leaving it in the water overnight, you can get at the cleats right here so you could tie up. But let's get the cover off this thing and check out what's inside. All right, we're gonna start at the back of the boat, work our way forward, and obviously the motor is a big deal. Most important thing on the boat. So running a Mercury 250 Pro XS, the 4-stroke motor. So it's been a few years now running this. Again, not having to mess with oil is so nice. And I've been putting, last year I put 350 hours on the motor, never had a single issue all year. That's pretty good. I'm pushing 100 already for this year, so no complaints there. I run a Mercury Fury prop, 24 pitch, 3-blade, and then when I have a second prop that I carry with me, a 4-blade 22 Bravo, and that one I like to put that on if we go to big water, if we're going to the Great Lakes maybe. It just gets the boat up a little bit quicker. It's a little poppier, not quite as fast, but it's, if you get in those big waves, it just keeps it up really nice and quick and easy. So at the back also, Minn Kota Talons. So you see a lot of I'm one of the only guys left on the Elite Series running Talons, but a lot of the guys have switched over to the Raptors. But I like the Talons for a couple of reasons. I rig the boat for the most part myself. I got some buddies that help me, but these are 2 wires to hook up to the battery and they're ready to go. So very easy. The brackets are really strong, really solid. And then these are 12 footers. That's the main reason why when I'm fishing around home, it's nice having that little bit of extra length, and they work great. They maybe don't look quite as good as the Raptors, but they function great, they work great, and that's all that matters to me. Back here, we got a TH Marine Atlas jack plate. This is a 10-inch jack plate. I get asked about that quite a bit. And, again, been 5 or 6 years of having one of these on my boat. Couldn't live without it. Rough water, I can put that thing all the way down, trim up a little bit. It keeps the bow up nice. And then, if you're going across some shallow flats, it's nice to be able to lift that motor up, and then you're not having to trim up like this all the time to make the boat want to, really pop. You can trim that thing up. Just really nice and handy to have on there. You can find the sweet spot when you're running to get the most speed out of your rig. But that's important. A couple other things. Use these My Wedge motor supports when we're trailering. They're slick. Also for traveling, we got the TH Marine steer stops, and they stay on there really good. Just keeps the motor from wanting to move around when we're trailering. So important to take care of that thing, obviously. But yeah, let's hop inside and see what we got going on in here. Okay, obviously the power is important in your boat to run all your electronics, make sure everything works properly. I've got 2 Group 31 X2 batteries back here, one in this box, one in here. So they're rigged in parallel, and everything in my boat, other than the trolling motor, is running off these batteries, and I have no issues. I started doing this at the start of last year, and my graphs looked a lot better immediately, and I can just run everything all day. One of the questions that people ask quite a bit as far as charging them, because most of these boats come with a 4-bank charger. That's what I have, a 4-bank Minn Kota charger, and that one bank will charge both those batteries every night when I plug in. So it's pretty slick. That's definitely the way to go if you want to run, you know, multiple big screen units like I do. Good batteries are really important. So we'll start back here. This is a pretty cool product from YoloTech. It's called their NavLite Power Stick, and you can see we have to run a GoPro every competition day on the Elite Series. So I can power it back here through my light port, and then they've actually got a light up here. We have to have a light in when we take off in the morning as well, but they have a light built into that. So just a really slick, you know, make life easy kind of tool there. So been really happy with that this year. Big roomy live wells in this thing. I had a big bass at Lake Fork, an 8.5 pounder, and it was happy in here all day. There's lots of room. We got a divider you can pull out if you want, but otherwise that stays in there for the most part. But you can put all the big bass or walleye you want in this live well, and they're going to be nice and happy in there. One of the features that everybody loves on this Pro V Bass XS model, whether you're a tournament angler, a guide, or you're taking the family out, is we've got some pop-up seats back here. So I do a little bit of guiding at home in the summer. I'm able to have a couple extra people in the boat. They don't have to sit on the deck. They got a good spot. And then also we got storage underneath these seats as well. So just, you know, more room. I keep an extra prop and some tools in this one, and just handy being able to have all that extra room. All right, at the console, obviously got lots going on here. Spend a lot of time sitting here and watching my screen. So I've got two Humminbird Helix 10 units. I like having the 10s because I can fit them both on the console. They're mounted direct, so they're rock solid. And these stay on for the whole season. I don't have to take them off. The travel cover fits over them really nice. So that's slick. Lund redesigned this console a couple years ago, and it's very thought out. You know, we got a whole nice flat plate right here to mount these units on. So that's nice. I've got adjustment for my jack plate and my trim right here on the steering wheel, so that's pretty slick. Got a little stereo. I've got a remote for my talons right here, so if I'm, you know, pulling up to the dock and I just want to put the poles down quick so I don't have to tie up, I got access to them right there. And then over on the side here, we've got an AquaView HD7 and just attached with a TH Mini Kong mount, so that's a really solid little mount. Use this thing a lot, you know, over the course of the season, particularly when I'm pre-fishing, and then, you know, quite a bit at home. Up north in the clear water, these things work really well. They're fun to use. I power it. I've got a power point right here, and all I got to do is plug that in to power it. I keep the camera on a spool just in the back, and when I want to use it, I pull it out, just put it right here, and I can drop the camera over and use it however I want. But that's a pretty slick way to, you know, have easy access to it, and, you know, I'm pretty close to it here, so I can see the display really good all the time, and been happy with that setup. One of the features that I love the most about these boats, obviously a huge deck, so I can have a buddy or two up here when we're fishing, and there's plenty of room for a couple of us to cast, do whatever we want. And then obviously it allows for a lot of storage. So I've got massive storage in this thing. We're getting ready to go to another event here coming up in a couple days. So I've got all my rods rigged up. I've got over 20 fishing rods in here. You can double up some of the holes, but keeps them organized, keeps them in place, and best rod storage, you know, that I've seen in any of these boats. Obviously lots of tackle. I can carry everything I need. It makes me carry too much stuff really, because the other side's full of stuff too. All the doors have foam on them, so that's gonna, when I shut these, they're quiet. They don't make hardly any noise, and then also I'm able to, you know, pack some of the lures on there that I've used. So that works out pretty good. We got a cooler up here. Obviously when we're fishing down south, the cooler, lots of ice is important. Up at the front, obviously we got a lot going on up here. I spend more time in this part of the boat than anywhere else. So a couple things that, you know, Lund now has padded, the whole front deck is padded, so that's awesome. I fish in my bare feet up here all the time now because it's so comfortable, but the padded deck is super nice. And then, you know, we got a recessed area for the foot pedal. That's important. I got another remote for the talons here, and then the electronics, I'm running 2 Helix 12s, and then I've got a Helix 10 flush mounted. So the 12s, I've got one dedicated to Mega Live, you know, my forward-facing sonar. Use that a ton. It's vital, you know, to be competitive now in these tournaments that I fish. And then I've also got a second 12 dedicated to the Humminbird 360. Use that a ton as well. So good for seeing cover and structure, you know, beneath the water, weed edges and weed clumps, rock piles, logs, anything that's on the bottom, I'm gonna see with the 360, and then I can kind of shine over with the Mega Live and see if there's any fish around. It's an amazing system. The 10, I kind of dedicate that to the mapping and sonar, you know, beneath the boat. Trolling motor, running a 52-inch Minn Kota Ultrex, so it's the best trolling motor. You know, we got spot lock and all the other great features that motor has, but it's heavy duty. I beat it up, and you know, I wouldn't want to have any other trolling motor on my boat. So that's the front of my rig. That's the whole rig, and it's my office. I love it.